I'm Ryan Green.
And I'm Zack Taylor. And this is
Commander Social. And this week, we're going to bring to you our top 8 things that scare us in Commander. Right? You know, 'tis the season when this airs, just a couple of days till Halloween.
Yep.
And so we're going to tell you all about the spooky things at a Commander table.
Yep.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, we want to thank you out there in audience land. Thank you so much for tuning in week and week out. We really appreciate you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please remember to hit the like button,
the subscribe button,
and the bell for ring-a-ding notifications.
Spoiler alert, we're going to be doing some videos. Just saying.
That's true, yeah.
Some special videos. I know that I say, hey, maybe in the future we're going to be doing some special videos, but we're actually planning some special videos. So,
but this time we're really doing it.
We have a spreadsheet about it, so that's how you know we're for serious. Real. Yeah, there's a spreadsheet.
All right, so we want to go ahead and thank our patrons. Thank you so much for your support. It really means the world to us. We really kind of couldn't do this without you.
For sure.
And definitely this episode is definitely been helped out by the patron contributions.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
always.
For sure. Absolutely. So go ahead.
That brings us to our patron of the week, Mr. Adam Hicks. His Twitter handle is @ElsbethLives. I hear that's a true story.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I met him in Vegas, and sweet dude, he went to dinner with us, and you had met him before, correct?
Yeah, I've actually played against Adam quite a few times, and he's a general GP / Magic Fest aficionado, and always a pleasure to play with.
Yeah, we played with him and Kenji at the Commander party, right?
That's right.
We did. So
and we had a meal together, right? So,
that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
So also, it's getting pretty few days till Halloween. You know, it's a few days till the end of the month because Halloween's the 31st.
Checked it out. It's true.
It's true. According to the American holiday calendar. So what that means is the month of October's patron contest is almost over. So you want to get in on any tier patron to be entered, and if you get in now, chances are looking pretty good. You might win
pre-release kit for Throne of Eldraine given to us by the Mothership. Thank you, Mothership.
Thanks. So yeah, there's that, and then you can always find us on Twitter. We're always doing the tweets individually. I'm at Z4CK38,
and I'm at Green Geek,
and together we're at Commander Social. So again, if since
we can't leave our Twitter followers out in the dark, we've got a contest going for the month of October for everyone out there in the Twitterverse as well.
Word.
The gift this week, or the contest for this month, I got all the words wrong.
One of them.
The contest for this month is for a play set or a draft set.
Draft set.
3 booster packs of Throne of Eldraine. That's what it's going to be.
3 booster packs.
Yeah, so make sure to find that original tweet. We do retweet it all the time, but you have to retweet the original, like it, and follow us, and you'll be entered to win 3 booster packs of Throne of Eldraine, which is a really sweet set for Commander.
It is.
I'm super pumped.
You know what's so great about these 3 packs of Commander or of Throne of Eldraine?
What's that?
You are guaranteed 100% at least 3 rares.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yep. Never am. Never am.
All right. So, Zach, what's been going on in your personal life, man?
Man, I don't know. Like, I think it's maybe the weather change or something. Like, I've been feeling kind of just in my head. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel a little lightheaded and a little disembodied. Like, I don't know what the deal is. Like, I think it's the weather change. I think it's my allergies. Here in Austin, we have some weird allergies. But, other than that, things have been going pretty well. I've been doing some writing. Those of you who don't know, I write some, I do some creative writing. That's what I did in college. That's a French way to say college. I went to college in France.
All right.
No, I didn't. I went to college in San Marcos. And then I've been reading a book on Postgres. Lee, I know you know what I'm talking about, for work. But the thing I'm really excited about this weekend is, besides the thing that Ryan will probably tell you about in his thing, but I'm going to go play some Smash Brothers with some coworkers tomorrow. It's kind of a team building thing, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, nice. Which character are you going to play?
The one that says, get fire, get fire, get fire.
That is Ness, I think.
Yeah,
right?
Ness, yeah. Because I like to sunlock people with that.
Actually, Ness is a great character.
I like him a lot. What character would you play?
That's so tough. There's so many good ones. Maybe Roy or Marth. I mean, Ness is up there too.
Get fire.
Yeah. PK Fire. I'm not sure. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd play, but yeah, Ness is up there for me.
Yeah,
sure. Absolutely.
Word. So what's going on in your personal life, Ryan?
All right. Well, it's time for that hashtag MTG dad moment. And this one's pretty good. So we have like a little stool that the kids can use to stand up on and wash their hands in the bathroom. And
I use it sometimes too.
Yeah.
It's a high sink.
But
high sink, low floor.
Exactly. Nice. But so my daughter was watching Daniel Tiger, which is a cartoon. Many of you parents out there might be familiar with it. And there's an episode where with a little help, you can be brave. And because they all have these like motivational songs in the episodes. And Daniel was like doing gymnastic stuff and jumping off of like a box, like doing a frog pose into a star pose. And so my daughter brought that out and was doing it. Right? She was doing the star jump. And Malcolm, not wanting to be left out of it, decided to join in. And it was really, really funny because like he would get up there and then he's not quite two yet. So he doesn't actually really jump. Like that's a thing. He can walk and run really well, but jumping is a little more advanced.
He runs real fast.
Yeah, he does. We found that out today.
Yeah.
So he was up there and then Veronica noticed his hesitation. So she went up there and like held her arms out to him. And, she was like, you can do it, buddy. And, he did. He kind of like sort of jumped off there. And she was like, I helped him jump. Well, or fall carefully. And she actually said fall carefully.
That's funny.
And it was really funny. Like,
that's hilarious.
I lost it. It was so good. Because that like is a very, very accurate description of exactly what he did.
I can picture it. And the thing is, like, it's kind of like, I don't know. So this weekend, Mrs. Green, Kelly Green, has been out of town. So we've been kind of tag teaming it. Hashtag my two MTG dads.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there you go.
So, we were at dinner tonight, and the place that we went, there's a park out back because we wanted to get real tired, so they'd go to sleep. And that kid, Malcolm, was fearless. He was like trying to climb on this like rope thing that like he probably shouldn't have had any business being on. I mean, I was like making sure, but he's like, I don't care. He's climbing up, and at the little gym on Friday, he was like jumping up and down. He was, man, that parachute. They'd be like, all the kids would be on top, and Malcolm's like, nah, goes under the parachute. Or then all the kids are under the parachute, and he's like, nah, we get on top of the parachute.
Yeah, he's definitely a nonconformist. Right. I will say, so the little gym is a little place that they go, and on Friday they had like a costume party, so you get to wear your Halloween costume early and go out there and have some cookies and pizza and dance to some music and play on all the gym equipment. So Zach definitely came over and helped out so that my kids could go, and it was really awesome.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I think they liked it.
All right, so it's time to thank one of the other brains behind this operation.
Word.
Right, our silent partner. Anytime we're getting into a huddle, Mike's
head is in the huddle. Yeah,
exactly,
for sure.
So we want to just give a huge shout out to Mike Condon. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and being a silent partner.
Yep, gentleman and a scholar.
All right, so that brings us to a segment we like to call
Commander Rules.
All right, so this week on Commander Rules, we're doing a rule that came up recently in a game that I was playing with some friends of mine. We have a Tuesday night game. Ryan's just not invited, but it's usually Brando Calrissian, my roommate, Vanessa, and a friend of ours named Cole that we met up at the game shop. And the rule was on, or the questions were on holding priority. How did that work? And it's something I knew how to do.
Well, I mean, priority is so darn slippery. Like, it's really hard to hold on to.
Yeah, really. Like, I just can't wrap my head around it sometimes. But the way that I learned it, and I knew how it worked kind of, but I didn't know why specifically. When I played Magic Online a lot, I played Legacy. And I played Manaless Dredge. And for those of you who know anything about Dredge, it's, get your hand in your graveyard because there's no mana. And so I'd play a card called Phantasmagorian, which is 5 black, for a 6/6 creature horror that says when you cast a spell, any player may discard 3 cards. If a player does counter Phantasmagorian, discard 3 cards, return Phantasmagorian from your graveyard to your hand. So what I would do is I would go, I would always take the draw, then I'd discard Phantasmagorian, and then I would discard 3 cards, press control, hold priority, discard 3 more, and then Phantasmagorian back into my hand. And I knew that's how it worked, but I didn't know why. So the rule is 117.3 C. And the rule is if a player has priority when they cast a spell, activate an ability, or take a special action, that player receives priority afterwards. So what was happening was I would discard my 3 cards for Phantasmagorian. So that's activating an ability.
Yep.
And then I get priority back before anyone else. I hold that priority instead of passing it to Ryan. And then I do it again. This is something that we shortcut a lot. Another place where you've probably dealt with it more is Planeswalkers, right? You play a Planeswalker, you hold priority, and then you plus them or minus them or whatever you do, and then people can do something. So, yeah, this is for Cole. He asked for it, so that's how it works.
Yeah, I mean, what I really like is that it was a really hands-on demonstration.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. And, you'll see the picture of Phantasmagorian, off to the side. Yeah.
Indeed. Yeah. I mean, I think that's a really good rule. And I think priority is a thing that's like not as well understood by as many people as it could be.
Yeah.
So I think this is a good one to, have our audience at home take a gander at.
Yeah, for sure. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you knew this or not. Hopefully this helps out some people find some tricky things to do. I will say it is helpful when 2 people have discard or sack outlets.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
That is this week's Commander Rules, which brings us to the main topic. Ryan, hit him with it.
This week, we're talking to you about the top 8 things that scare us in Commander. And, of course, it's Commander Social, so we're going to do this secret list style.
Absolutely. Like as if there were any other way.
Right. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and, basically bare our souls a little bit,
Mm-hmm. Make ourselves vulnerable to you, right? Really get to the like, I don't know, the mind of it all. I don't know. You're kind of seeing in our heads how we think when we play.
Yeah. Right. Knowing what scares us. I think it's an interesting thing, and it's on point for a Halloween episode. So,
sure. And also, if you know us and play with us in real life, please don't use these things against us.
Yeah, don't get into our heads about this. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right. Okay. So you got your list ready?
I got my list ready. All right, man. So who goes first this time? Is it me or you?
I'm going first. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Okay.
Wait. Are we heading up to the top first, or are we heading down to the bottom first?
We are going to start with number 8. So we're going to start at the bottom and go all the way to the top.
Okay.
8-1.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Let's do it.
So my number 8 is blinged out decks, right? This scares me because it's a deck that has so much work and passion put into it that, and it's good, right? Because they took the time to like bling out the entire deck, right? Like every card is like, there's masterpieces and there's like the exact right foil lands and there's like altered cards. And so every card in the deck has earned its slot. And so I think it's gonna be like a really well-tuned deck. And that's a little bit scary for me.
That one actually surprisingly doesn't bother me because like, I don't know. I know players that, they just like to have blinged out cards, right? So, and because I've been this player too, I've built decks around cards because I got blinged out versions of them. It's like, oh, should I put this foil Thoughtcast in my deck? No, probably not. But it's foil, so I'm going to do it anyway.
I mean, I definitely have a deck, off the top of my head, one of my decks, the Gonti Lord of Luxury deck, there are cards in there just because they're foil or just because they depict, treasure or gold or something, so there's a theme of luxury and wealth.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that,
I do see your point though. I agree that if I see Max sit down with a bunch of like altered lands or something that he got CC Orion to alter for him, I'm just gonna be like,
All right. Okay. So what's your number 8?
So my number 8, I came up with names for mine. So mine's New Deck Who Dis.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Fear of the unknown.
Yep. It's playing a brand new deck or playing a borrowed deck that I've never played before, never seen how it's going to do. You know, I don't know. I don't know what's in my 99 cards, right? Like I could be like trying to like find this answer that's just not there. And I don't know how all the synergies work. And honestly, it's kind of how I felt last weekend in League. Because I mean, I knew what the morph card were in that deck. I just didn't know how they worked.
And you hadn't played it before,
yeah,
right?
Exactly,
yeah, so
exactly.
it was new to you,
right?
Yeah.
So what's your next one?
All right, my number 7 top 8 things that scare me in a game of Commander is 5 other people shuffling their decks in the same game I'm about to start.
Yeah,
and the way math works on that is that is 5 plus me is 6, and that's a 6-player game, and that is a scary thing. Because you know that game's going long.
Well, I mean, I feel like your first mistake was not making that game Secret Partner.
Yeah, that would help it out a little bit for sure.
Like I'll play Secret Partner 6 people and not worry about it, but 6 people head to head like we did that time, never again. That was 8 hours of my life I'll never get back.
All right, so what is your number 7?
My number 7 is titled An Intern is Allowed to Play.
Oh no. Oh no.
So I think you probably know what this is, but it's a player who's known to play really jacked up cards.
Busted degenerate stuff.
Yeah, you know, you got your Vorinclexes or your Swords or your Elish Norns, and it's like, you know, they have it in the deck, and it's just like, well, waiting for it. Or like the Scarab guys is their commander. And these are all definitely Elliot examples.
Yes, they are.
And it's just like, oh man, and I get scared. Like I want to be clear on this. I'm not begrudging Elliot in any way, shape, or form. I love playing with Elliot, even if he is playing really messed up stuff and he's gonna have to sit in the corner after the game. But still, I'm just like, oh man, what am I gonna do?
So true confession time. I actually consulted with the intern on my list.
Oh, did you?
I did.
Why am I not surprised? I put in hard. I used a lot of, thinking time to come up with this list with like little names and everything. And like, you just asked the intern to make the list for you. No,
I mean, we really just kind of bounced stuff back and forth and we just talked about it.
That's cool.
I definitely like came up with some of these like before we started recording tonight. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I did show my list to John. So not Big John, other John. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So where are we at? We're on my number 6. Or your number 6?
Your number 6. Mine was An Intern was allowed to play. So that was my 7. So now it's your 6.
All right. So actually number 6 is one that I encounter frequently when playing with this guy right here. Right. It is 1/2 of a 2-card combo is in play.
Who plays 2-card combos?
I mean, I have played against your Tezzeret deck and your Sphinx. Which one is it? Magister Sphinx?
What?
What's the Esper Sphinx that's at the helm of your Tezzeret deck?
Oh, Shroom the Hegemon.
Yeah, Shroom the Hegemon. That's what I was looking for. Okay, yeah. That deck has a lot of 2-card combos, right? Like Sanguine Bond and what's the other one?
Exquisite Blood. That's not in there.
No, but I'm just saying when I see Sanguine Bond come down, or I see Exquisite Blood, like, all these ideas start racing through my head. I'm like, oh no, they're gonna win, or what can I do, or how do I stop them? And I'm cursed with the knowledge, rattling around up in my skull here about like what all the 2-card combos are.
It's a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, it is, because like when I see one, I'm like, oh no, are they doing a thing? And then sometimes you ask people, and they'll be like, oh, no, I'm totally not. And usually, when that happens, I think that's true. But I mean, I've played against your decks enough times to know that when I see one, the other is sure to follow.
Let me ask you a question. What's another 2-card combo besides Pickle Rick and Blood Bond? Do you know one?
Another 2-card combo?
Yeah.
How about Power Artifact and Basalt Monolith for infinite mana?
Okay, you win.
Got there.
All right.
So what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Josh Lee Kwai sits down to play. And what that means is someone's plays Vidalcan Ori or Leyline of Anticipation.
So in this scenario, I'm in the role of Josh Lee Kwai, is what you're saying?
Basically. I mean, I really only know 2 people. I mean, I guess 3 if we count Josh. That people that play that card, us and him.
Well, okay.
I mean, within our play group. Within our play group, it's just us.
Yeah, I will say this. The morph deck that I'm working on literally has every flash enabler possible. Like, I really want to just like get that value because Kadena Slinking Sorcerer lets you play the first one on each turn for free. And so if you get a flash enabler out there like Vidalcan Orrery or Leyline of Anticipation, you know, you can cast a morph on each turn and do it for free and draw a card. So I'm even playing the Vivian Planeswalker that does it.
Snap. I'm definitely playing Leyline of Anticipation in my league deck now. And you know what I found out about her?
What's that?
Every time you play a card face down, you get to draw. It's not just the first time, it's every time.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, no, it's super good.
I play that card that's like at the beginning of everyone's upkeep, you manifest the top card of their library. I'm like, oh, cool. 2/2 and a card. Thanks.
Super good. Okay, yeah.
What's your next one?
Was that? Oh yeah, that was it. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Okay. So this one's a particularly scary one. This is my number 5, and it's 2 words. It's the phrase "in response," and man, when somebody says that, I'm like, oh no, and it's usually for a couple of different reasons. Like, number 1, I feel like people use that incorrectly a bunch. Like,
you're not wrong.
They actually want to wait for something to resolve and then do it. But I mean, even then, it's just like, you know, like I have a response, like a thing is about to happen and it's going to spell doom. Like, it's not good. And whenever that happens, it's like, oh no, all of my best laid plans shattered before me. Right.
Right. To me, that's like also like, let me know before you go to attacks.
That is a good one. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's, do you get the heebie-jeebies when somebody says in response?
A little bit. I'm like, I'm doing something good. In response, oh man, what's happening? So my next one is Brando Calrissian sits down to play.
Oh, a new challenger.
Yep.
A new challenger approaches.
And what that one is it's when someone ramps just insane ramp, like hardcore ramp, then in a way that I just cannot keep up with.
Like a 45-degree angle ramp, like it's just going to launch it at the perfect trajectory.
Yeah. Just it gets to their head when they have so much mana to do just whatever they want with. And the thing is, it's like, we'll be playing something. Brandon have like, it'll be like turn like 3, and Brandon has like 20 lands in play, and I have like 2. And I'm just like, I'm never catching up with that. You can cast like 2 or 3 spells a turn. I can cast like 1. I don't know.
So it's like when somebody gets really way ahead on mana?
Yeah, basically.
All right. Okay, so that was your number 5, right?
Yes.
All right. So my number 4 in the top 8 things that scare me when I sit down to a game of EDH is my opponent has Aura Shards in play.
Gosh, yeah.
Aura Shards is 1 green-white for an enchantment, and it says whenever a creature comes into play under your control, you may destroy target artifact or enchantment, and the flavor text is, this card makes Ryan cry.
It makes Zack cry too, because artifacts and enchantments, my favorite types of cards. Well, I think instants are my favorite.
Well, okay, so I mean, here's the thing.
Still.
I can tell you every time this card comes down into play for my opponent, I like start looking at my hand.
Yeah.
Right? And I go, oh man, this card's no good. This card's no good. This card's no good. And a lot of times I'll be playing like in a red deck or a black deck where I have no way to get rid of the enchantment, or, you know, like it's going to cost 7 mana or something. And I go, oh man, like all these cards in my hand are completely worthless. And I just have to like, you know, like depend on the kindness of strangers to kill that Aura Shards. And a lot of times it just doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's happened to me too. I don't love it. It makes me sad.
Now, the converse of that is when I play Aura Shards, it feels real good.
It feels
so,
great.
I mean,
great.
You know, like I'm not knocking people, but that's a scary situation. So what's your number 4?
Everyone has a full grip but me.
Oh, yeah, the old Boros lament, as it were.
Yeah, basically. And so it's really, you know, when someone draws a bunch of cards or everyone has, you know,
their
6
hands
or 7
are just
cards,
stacked, right? Like there's just a full grip.
And
right?
I'm just like holding my like 2 cards. I'm like, okay, one's like super expensive and the other one's comes into play tapped land. Just kidding, I don't play those. But yeah, a land, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm so, because then like it really ties in with the ramp one for me, because those are resources that people don't necessarily like equate to being resources, kind of like live too. Like,
oh, I mean, honestly, an opponent with 20 cards in hand is one of the things that scares me the most. Probably should have made my list. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I've definitely had like 20 cards in my hand and a Reliquary Tower and playing. Ryan's like, get him. But to be fair, Ryan's always like, get him.
I mean, you're not wrong, right? I mean, I just got to point out that, this guy's got a ton of resources and we need to take care of that.
And he's always like, let's go after Zack's head on this one. Just go after his head. And I'm like, bro, chill. It's only Sanguine Bond.
I don't have the other one, I promise.
I don't have Extremes of Blood.
So where are we at now? Whose turn is it?
It's you, and it is your number 3.
Okay. All right. So this one is a personal one, and I think you're going to agree with it a lot. And I think our listeners, our longtime listeners, will agree with this one as well. And this thing that I'm scared of at a game of Commander is whoever is sitting in Zack's sweet spot. That is the thing that scares me the most, right? Because they are just like the sweet spot for Zack is caddy corner, right? And so anybody that's sitting in there has less scrutiny for Zack, and I just know they're going to be able to get away with a bunch of stuff.
I'm gonna quote Kanye here from a song called "Can't Tell Me Nothing," and it's there's all this scrutiny, and what do? Act more stupidly. That's basically what happens with this.
Nice, well done. Yeah, it's a scary thing, right? Like this person's going to be able to just get away with it. So
something I'd like to bring up about that, as Ryan says, he's like so scared of this. We often play with a Card Kingdom command zone. Is that, or what's it called? Command center, whatever. It's a little play mat, and my favorite color is blue. Ryan's favorite color is obviously green.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And I often wear green all the time.
Yeah. So, we're like looking at this thing, and so like blue's like right here. And guess what's catty corner from blue? Green. And guess who usually likes to sit where the green thing is and who likes to sit where the blue thing is? And they just happen to be catty corner.
I mean, I will, like, if we're going to sit down to a game, I'm like, oh, can I get into the sweet spot, right?
I mean,
it's not called the sweet spot for nothing. It is sweet.
That's why I'm always trying to sit by you. Also because Ryan didn't hold his cards up, I can just like look at him and say like, what's up? So would you like to know my number 3?
I would.
Is called the sweet spot.
Oh, all right. And we had it at the same spot on the list,
we
too.
did.
That's crazy.
I mean, because the thing is, this person can get away with murder.
Yeah, literally, like one black instant destroy target creature.
Like it's just like it's more like destroy target like Zack, right? Like they're like, I'm doing some stuff, and this happened. This happened in LA, in March. I was playing Niv Mizzet. I was going off. I was just going off, and I was like, need to destroy an artifact. And I was like, dude, destroy artifact. He's like, which one? And I was like, I don't care. And he's like, this one. I was like, fine. And I'm going off, and then suddenly, this guy just gets this look inside, like, oh. And I was like, cool. And then I hear those famous last words for me in response. And I was like, what? And because this guy's in my sweet spot, I have no idea what he's doing. He stops me dead to rights. He got me.
I think the card was Soul Conduit, I think.
Sure.
Something that lets you switch around life totals. I may have that wrong, but I might get it right.
I mean, it happened so long ago. And since this guy was in the sweet spot, I couldn't really tell you. So what's your number 2, Ryan?
All right. Okay. So my number 2, this is one that's actually particularly terrifying. You know, in the spirit of Halloween, this is when Saskia the Unyielding is in my opponent's command zone, which this is the card that says, when it comes into play, name Ryan, and then any damage that's dealt to anybody else hits Ryan too. And yeah, I don't know, man. This card is so frustrating. I mean, here's the thing. So I have like tore up so many of these, right? I've tore so many of these up, right? Like I just
physically?
Like I find a Saskia, I'm like, no. Right?
Is that what all those Saskias in the corner?
Yeah, yeah.
I was wondering about that.
Actually, no. Honestly, I don't practice harm on my Magic cards, but in my head, I have the idea that I'd love to tear them up, or I've tore so many of them up. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
How do you feel about Saskia the Unyielding?
I mean, generally, because it's pointed at you, I'm okay with it. Like in my head, I'm like, oh snap, someone played Saskia. I was like, they're definitely gonna name Ryan Green, and I'm just like, well, then I can attack someone else, and Ryan Green gets hit in the face. Like, I have no problem here.
Should we read Saskia the Unyielding?
Yeah, we probably should.
Home? All right, here it goes. Yep.
And you know the other thing, like, do those curses bother you? The ones where it's like, I don't know, it's like if they hit you, like
the owner of the curse gets something and whoever attacks. So it's like incentivizing you to attack. Yeah. Those I often find those landing, on my head.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saskia the Unyielding is black, red, green, white for a 3/4 legendary creature human soldier with vigilance and haste. As Saskia the Unyielding enters the battlefield, choose a player. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, it deals that much damage to the chosen player. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Like if they name you and they attack somebody else that's open, you still get hit. But if they attack you, you just take double damage. So it's rough. Saskia the Unyielding is definitely a very scary thing to see my opponents play.
Not a fan, honestly. Like honestly, in terms of Commander in general, I don't really care for that. Like it seems, I don't know. I just don't like it.
It's a particular singling outness that's feels kind of bad a little bit. All right. So what's your number 2?
My number 2 is Big John sits down to play. And that is
a scary thing.
Yeah, hashtag get Big John. But what that is, it's someone playing just like super aggro or just basic aggro. You got your Gruul aggro decks or your mono white or Orzhov people wielding fences, tribal aggro decks or your cat aggro decks.
Just coming right at you.
Yeah, just coming for the head with those stakes every time. And it's like, my decks just don't deal with that well. And I've literally thought about building board wipe tribal, 5-colored board wipe tribal.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, like, I don't know what the win condition is. Probably Infect. I'd probably proliferate out some Infect. What about you, man? So this brings us to our number 1, right?
All right.
Your number 1?
The number 1 spooky thing that I hate seeing when I sit down to a game of Commander is an opponent drawing a card for their turn, passing with 7 mana open and at least one of its blue.
That seems okay.
Ryan does fear the Rifter because I'm gonna get Cyclonic Rifted.
It's true.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I'm like, oh no, here it comes. And it's like, there's nothing you can do about it. You're like, well, I guess I could have a counterspell.
Yeah, exactly. I'll talk about that some.
Oh yeah? All right, let's hear it. So what's your number 1?
My number 1 is Ryan leaves mana up. And that's a known control / counter magic player leaves mana up. And that def means something is going on in their head. Something is just up, right? Plus, generally when Ryan does it, he also has some sort of way to make everything he plays instant speed. And, yeah, sure, maybe I leave my 7 mana up for Cyclonic Rift, but Ryan's got 10 mana up, and he's like, Cryptic Command. Or Mana Drain.
Yeah, I do like Cryptic Command and Mana Drain.
Or Mystic Confluence.
Yeah.
Or any counter spell. And the thing is, what happens is, he's like, okay, he's like, oh yeah, I just got lands. Oh, I just got lands. And then it's the player before him, it's in their turn, he's like, oh wait, but at the end of your turn, turns them all sideways, is like this crazy thing. And I'm like, oh, cool story.
Well, I have to hand it to you, Zach. That is true. I do often leave up mana and thwart people's plans. It's a thing I like to do. It's actually one of the funnest things to do in Commander. But
yeah, would you say you find yourself saying in response quite often?
I often say it, and that's why I knew it was scary.
That feels like a legitimate reason. I'll allow that. So that's the thing. So what do you think about this list? These lists. Does this stuff scare you? If it doesn't, let us know what you do to deal with it. Right. Also, are there things that scare you that we didn't list? Let us know. The best ways, obviously Twitter, or if you want to be on our patron, you can talk to us about it in Discord. We're here to listen. Provide non-licensed counseling for those things that you fear in EDH. If you want to come to me and you want to commiserate with me about Ryan leaving mana up, I'm 24 hours a day, baby. I'm ready to talk about it.
Nice. All right. Okay. So, I think that'll end it. So special thanks to our super patrons. You can check us out at patreon.com/commandersocial and join at the Your Name in Lights tier if you want to be here as well. So thanks everybody for watching this video. Hopefully it was entertaining.
Yep.
Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like button down below.
The subscribe button. And
the ring-a-ding bell for notifications. And for this special Halloween-themed episode of Commander Social, I'm Ryan.
I'm Zach.
And we're saying until next time, keep it social.